The following program is a public access presentation produced by a member in your community through the cooperation and assistance of American Cablevision.
Good evening. My name is Ortega, and as you can tell by the music, our program is going to be about Greece. And that was the famous song, Never on Sunday, from Zorba the Greek, that Milena McCurdy and Anthony Quinn made famous. And we are very fortunate to have members of the Greek community here that are going to be performing their beautiful dances and showing these terrific crafts that they brought down. And I'd like to say a few things about Greece. As you look at the past, it's a combination of the past and the present of modern Greece. The people of Athens are rarely out of sight of Ortega, symbol of Greece's golden age. Macedonian Greeks traveling from Kavala to Philippi follow the same route followed by biblical St. Paul. Shepherds still tend their flocks on the Argive plains where Paris, Helen, Ulysses, and others became involved in the Trojan War. Shopkeepers, and I'm going to ask you, Bessie, before I introduce you, it's Thessaloniki. Thessaloniki. Okay. It's a heck of a lot better than what I could do. And they sell their wares there in the shadow of the doomed cathedrals, which date back to the olden days. And on the island of Kos, is that correct? Kos, okay. Villagers still sip coffee beneath an ancient tree where Hippocrates, the father of medicine, traditionally received his patients in the 5th century BC. But modern Greece does not linger in the past, even though her long journey into the present has not always been easy. Over and over again, Greece has struggled to be free after invasions, war, enemy, occupation, and devastation. Even as late as World War II, Greece was once more forced to struggle for survival. But within 15 peaceful post-war years, Greece managed to rebuild 2,000 destroyed villages, restore thousands of others which had been permanently damaged, achieve economic and financial stability. Repair was made on the different villages and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I would like to right now introduce my guests, which are, you have introduced yourself, Bessie.
Bessie Theodorou.
And Georgia.
Dubie.
Okay, could you tell me how you're involved with the Greek community, which is quite obvious?
Well, I started a dance group this past spring for the church. I've been involved with Greek dance groups for several years, but this was the first one through the church. And then I'm also in the choir, and I'm a Sunday school teacher part-time, or I used to be.
Okay. And terrific. Georgia, could you tell me, you're from Greece originally. Where were you raised?
Athens, Greece.
Bessie, could I ask you about the costume that was your son, which I'd like for you to give his name also.
His name was Vangeli Theodorou.
Okay. What about the costume?
The costume is known, here in the States they have, or I should say, the Green Beret is the best unit in the armed forces. Well, like the best unit in Greece is known as the Evzones, and this is what they wear. If you go to the palace, they stand in the front.
They're all yellow. They're all yellow. Mm-hmm. All young men. And you were telling me before about the fact that you don't say anything about the skirts.
No, you do not say, because they are not known as a skirt. They are known as fustaneles.
Uh-huh.
They do not call them skirts.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
If you go to one of these men and call it a skirt, you may get socked in the face.
Okay. Okay. What does the little red hat signify and the black tassels and all that? Is that just a tradition, part of the costume
That's just
itself?
part of the costume tradition.
Well, it's not really the Greek, I mean, army, so only the royal, the guards
Uh-huh.
of the palace, and the the honor royal guards, they
Yes.
wear those,
Going back to the modern Greeks, you have an intense love of liberty and highly individualistic people. Now, I'm reading some background, and they said the Trojan War heroes amplified similar traits, and you are adventurous people who have immigrated to many parts of the world in the states of New York, Chicago, and St. Louis, which not too much was written about before. Now, there was a gentleman that we talked about before who was supposed to be the first one Greek immigrant. And I found out that he was got a patent and had the ornaments, or what was that?
No, he had a patent for heating.
Yes.
For heating apparatuses here.
And that's one of the most, that's all over the
Right.
country, all over the world?
Right. All over the states and everything.
Okay.
And his name was Demetrius Yiannopoulos. He came to St. Louis in 1871.
And what did he do? What was his...
Well, he started a business. It was known as Missouri Tent and Awning.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's still a thriving business, but I don't know. And if his family still have ownership of it.
Now, when he first came here and had been here for quite a little while, I suppose, he got married. Was he married in Greece, or did he meet his wife here, or...?
He married in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and then they came here to settle. And her father was one of the first to find the first church here in St. Louis.
Yes.
And he also built a home, four-story home in the shape of a cross for his wife as a wedding gift. And it was in Webster Groves.
Is that still standing?
No, it's gone now. There's a park there, I think, right now.
I also read that there was a book written about the family. They were so adventurous and so involved in the culture and getting everything going. And then his niece wrote a book that was a sister of his, the daughter of his sister. Right?
I think so.
Yes. Okay. When we're talking about getting more into the background, when the Greek immigrant would first come here, did they have a large reception? Was there a lot of Greeks here at the time, or where did they settle?
Okay. In 1905, when the first church was built, they had a Greek town on 6th and Broadway between Market and Spruce. And they had their coffee houses, their barber shops, their meat markets, and all this. And anyone coming first from Greece would go to the coffee house, and they had like a bulletin board for all the jobs and wherever they wanted to take residence. And there was, on the corner of 6th, there was a pandopolion, which means a store of much. It was just like a little shack built on the corner that had a variety of many things. Like you would go into a 7-Eleven today and
Yes.
pick up something. And the interpreter, there was always an interpreter in there, and he would help out these people and send them to various places.
Did they go to make their own schools and this type of thing when they first came here, or did they integrate into the community as a whole?
They tried to start their own Greek parochial school, and I think it lasted about a year in that time. But then it wasn't doing well, so the children went to public schools. They had afternoon Greek school, like 2 or 3 days during the week.
Georgia, could you tell me how did you get here from Greece, and how long did you live there? Did you first come to St. Louis?
No, I came in Canada, and then I came here. I came with my father. Then I came here, and I got married, and I stayed 30 years ago.
30 years ago?
Yes.
Do you like it?
Yes, very much.
Now, when you came here, did you feel like you were still at home when you got into the Greek community? Because who did you meet first of all? How did you get in contact with the people?
With some relatives, and my father was here, and some relatives. But I was raised in Athens, finished high school and a year university. And I came here to continue school, but it was kind of difficult. We didn't have the money at the time, so I got married and
Yes.
I
You go
stayed.
back periodically. How has Greece, that you remember it now, the ultra-modern Greece?
More modern, the buildings, you know. When I was living there, it was more like ancient Greece. Now you can hardly see, it's more like New York,
Yes.
you know.
But one thing you can't take away is the beautiful
No.
pillars and that. No matter how
No.
tall the buildings
No.
get, that's still. Name some of the terrific places that somebody would like to go visit. That's a travel.
Well, the first thing everybody wants to visit is the Acropolis, the Parthenon, which draws more from all over the world, more than 5 to 10 million visitors a year. And It's the Olympia, where they take the light, you know,
Yes.
from the Olympics.
That started in Greece, right?
Yes, and very many islands. People, they like, you know, to visit. They're so different, you know, like Mykonos and Rhodos, and, you know, very many islands. And Kerkyra, Corfu, they call it,
Yeah.
you know. And it's Sunyo, there are very many places, you know.
What are some of the main, for instance, is tourism a big deal in Greece? I mean,
Yes.
what types of businesses are very important? I'm sure all of them are, but
Many, what they do business, it's like selling things, you know.
the crafts and things like
crafts,
that.
like, yes. Because people, they like to buy something and show their country, you know,
Yes.
what it's so different what they can buy. You know.
Before I go and we get into everything else, I would like for you to describe, this is fantastic, this blue knitted suit that you have on. You told me your sister
My
did that.
sister, yes, she crocheted
Uh-huh.
for me. She gave it to me.
How long did it take her to make that?
Oh, a long time, I think.
Long time?
Long time. I wouldn't even think.
She started at 15 and you
Yes.
just got it. What?
She works in office, and they didn't have no TV, you know, until a few years, let's say about 3 years, she's got a television.
Yes.
And the TV over there, it starts, they can afford it, you know, all day TV and all night. It's from 6 o'clock to 11, you know, and most they show movies from here,
Yes.
you know, repeats, Dynasty or other, you know,
Really?
Dallas. Or now they try, you know, whatever they can to, but most of it, let's say 80% American, you know,
Yes.
repeat, you know.
Who are some of the big stars? Everybody knows Milena Mercouri, of course, and of course that fantastic Zorba the Greek. Dimitrios Tomskin, or how do you pronounce his last name?
Dimitri Hon, it's, there are very many stars over there. It's mostly theater.
Uh-huh.
Well, they're not popular in other countries, but they're, you know, famous in ancient theaters. You know, it's the ancient theater. It's underneath from Acropolis. The one Miss Universe one time it was crowned. I don't know if you ever remember. You know, a couple of years ago, they filmed it in Greece. The Miss Universe. Frank Sinatra, he sung. You know, he gave a concert, but you know. For some reason, I don't know, to raise money and, but more, there are a lot of Greek movie stars, they're here, you know, they either change their names, you know, they're Greek or,
Go ahead. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
no, you know, some, even here,
Greek stars here, I don't.
it was George Tsakiris, if you know, he's Greek, he was a dancer and he
Oh,
played
George,
West,
oh yeah,
yes.
West Side Story, yes.
Side
Uh-huh.
Story.
And of course there's Terry Savalas.
Well,
Yes.
then there's some of the younger generation here
Oh,
in America
John
might know.
Cassavetes.
John
John
Stamos
Cassavetes.
on General Hospital,
Yeah.
he's Greek.
Yeah.
And
The
there's,
young one. And John Cassavetes, of course, he played many movies.
I wanted to ask you, getting to the Olympics and all of that, the gentleman, I'll just say Mr. Demetrius, because that's about the best
Yeah,
I'm
no
going to
problem.
get. He, I read, sponsored a young man to come over here and light the torch in 1904 for the first World Fair. Could you give me a little information about that?
Well, there's nothing much really. Mr. Yiannopoulos sponsored a friend's son to come over, and then this son started the first Olympic Games here in St. Louis then.
There was a small percentage of Greeks now. I bet you it's really grown since then. What's about the percentage now?
We had more Greeks then
You're
here
kidding.
than now.
Really?
In 1900s to about the 1930s, there were about 20 to 25,000 Greeks in downtown St. Louis. That's where they mainly lived, in Greektown. But now we may have
Most of
5 to
Chicago.
10. Yeah, they migrated because St. Louis is known as Gateway to the West. So a lot of the Greeks, they came here, and from here they found jobs, railroad or whatever. And they
That's what
went-
brought them here, right? The
Right.
railroad.
And
Yeah.
then they went west.
Yeah.
You can find them in Seattle. You can find them in California.
Chicago, it's almost
Texas.
half a million
Yeah.
Greeks.
So.
And they brought all their culture and their beautiful crafts with them. And because we've got so much to show, I'm going to go into the dancing. And I'd like for you to explain what the first dance and the second dance are going to be in that order, and who are involved.
Okay, the first dance is the Sirtaiki, and that's known as the sailor's dance. And the second dance is the Cretan Susta, which comes from one of the islands of Greece, known as Crete. And the Hellenic dancers of St. Louis are going to dance those two dances.
Okay. They've got
And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Philip Artigerios are their choreographer, and he'll be dancing with them. And Maria Dubas knows more about their dances.
Okay. How long have they been doing this?
They just started this past spring.
To get the group together?
Right.
And you told me there was 30-something people in the group?
Well, in their group, I think they have 12. The younger group,
yes,
we have 30.
Okay. So. Well, I think we all better sit back and get ready for this. I think it's terrific. See them all in full costume.
Μια πουντώση, μια φλόγα έχω μέσα στην καρδιά. Λες και μάγια μου έχεις κάνει φραγκοσυριάνη γλυκιά. Λες και μάγια μου έχεις κάνει φραγκοσυριάνη γλυκιά. Να σε ανταμώσω κάτω στην ακρογιαλιά. Θα θέλα να σε χορτάσω όλο καρδιά και φιλιά. Θα θέλα να σε χορτάσω όλο καρδιά και φιλιά. Ανασιώσει ο Θεός, δεν θα και αποκτήσω, θα χτίσω ένα μεγάλο, τους άγγες να ελκύσω. Να αφήσω ένα τζάμι για όλα τα τερβίσια και με του πολιτικό να έρχονται τα κορίτσια. Μια Κυριακή σε γνώρισα καθώς σε ένα βάγο. Μια Κυριακή σε γνώρισα καθόσουν σε ένα πάτο και στοίχημα στη τσέπη σου δεν είχες ένα φράτο και στοίχημα στη τσέπη σου δεν είχες ένα φράτο.
You know, there's nothing like the beauty of dance to bring out the cultural, all the aspects of it, of different cultures and everything. And I'd like to give a mention to the choreographer,
Philip Adrios.
Adrios. And the president of the group is Miss Maria Dubias. And she's going to join us in a few minutes. But before she comes on, you see all these beautiful things. I hope that everybody is able to get a look at all of these things that are presented here. And I'd like to start with you, Georgia, and start from the end over there and work your way down.
Yes. That brass thing with the handle, they used to ground many things years ago, you know, when they did.
Go ahead.
They used to ground like walnuts, coffee, very many things, and then it's in Greek.
Like a mortar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now you have the ground, you know, by machines, but that time everything has to be by hand.
Yes.
And then it's that candle. Is that a candle? Maybe she knows better.
Okay, you were telling me about the fact that
This is lit almost every day in
Okay.
the Greek households at the altar in the home. And all the religious families, most Greeks are very religious, so they light it every day. And when you go down further, this is where they burn incense on special holidays to bless their home. And then we go on to the coffee pot, which makes a traditional Greek cup of coffee, which most Greek households are with, you know,
Yes.
if they don't have it, you know, forget it.
May I ask you, what's the difference between Greek coffee and, say, Latino coffee? Is it stronger?
Greek
Why is
coffee
it strong?
is ground fine powder, and you make it like a cocoa. And when you drink it in the small demi-tasse cups and the sediment settles to the bottom, you drink it down to the sediment. You don't strain it. It's all there in the cup.
Do you drink those too, or you just?
No.
Some people do.
okay.
Some people do.
It stays in the bottom of your
Okay.
cup.
Okay. Could you that
Then this
gorgeous
is
gold?
some of the embroidery
Yes.
items that many girls have to have in their
Oh,
diary.
that's fantastic.
They have to have many items in their diary by the time they're married.
Different sizes.
Different sizes,
Yes.
different
Different
colors.
colors.
Yes.
As you notice, there's one on the end of the table, which is
Uh-huh.
a different color.
Okay. Let's hold it up. You were telling me
Okay.
about when you went to Greece and you were married there. Give us a little background about that. You had to get a diary.
Well,
a
I
three-day
didn't.
wedding.
I didn't exactly have to get a dowry, but I had a Greek traditional wedding, which I went through it all. I never knew what it was about, but each step I was told what to do. So I was told, about drinking the wine and then throwing it over my shoulder, or looking at my husband through my engagement ring in a mirror out the window over my shoulder. But when I went to Greece, it was the villages that I went to and we got married in, my husband's village. There was no electricity or running water yet.
Where's he from?
He's from up north, near Thessalonica, in a village called Iousiorgis, Revena.
It's up north.
It's up north in the mountains. And so I got a feeling of what it was like to live in the pioneer days.
Yes.
No electricity, no running water. But I loved it. I really
How
did.
long did you stay there?
7 months.
Did you want to come back, and had you gotten so accustomed to living
I didn't really want
freely?
to. I didn't really want to come back. I liked it. I really liked it. But my husband wanted to come and see America, so we
Yeah.
came back.
You've been here
Something
ever
the
since?
water. When you drink, you go to Greece and drink water, you forget about going back home.
Oh, is it that bad?
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay, we won't go into that. Anyway, those different tapestries and that, these are all handmade, and each design is different. Does that mean from the different villages, or?
No, there are different designs. We have a cross stitch. That's the most simplest, and it's taught to the girls in the 2nd grade. As early as 2nd grade, the girls learn the cross stitch. We have one that's made as the cross stitch at the bottom. This is a cross stitch, and this is as early as 2nd grade, girls are taught to make this stitch. And then we have, that is also a cross stitch, but it's on a finer material. This is more like it's called a Byzantine stitch, I think. I'm not
In
sure.
school, you have to take a class.
You have
they
to.
have to teach you everything.
Fantastic.
Yes. Crochet or needlepoint, everything. Everybody.
That's
has to
terrific.
know. Yes.
How long does it take somebody to make something like that?
I know of an 18-year-old that could do that, let's say, in 2 months. It would take me 10 years.
You've got to have good eyes.
Yes.
Very good eye. you know.
Yes. Getting, when you first brought out these beautiful bows. Georgia, did you want to show, tell anything about that bowl, what it represents? And
These,
yes.
they're all reproductions from museums, and they have the emblem, a little thing here, which that means, everything when they found under the ground.
Yes.
And everything they have in
BC.
museums.
Yes.
And some they go back, underneath it say, maybe there, maybe there.
The year
It's 460 BC,
450 BC.
classical bow.
And what is
So-
this made out of?
Oh,
Is that a clay or a wood or?
no, it's not wood. It's
It's like
probably
a clay.
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 Yes,
And
and
you-
hand painted.
Yeah, each design is different. You can't
Yes.
find the same design.
Yes, from certain part of like the Corinthian columns, they have different designs. The Ionian, which is in a different part of Greece, they have different columns, they have different designs. Or they go back to each century, and they represent a different class of art.
Well, I'm going to just say get a full shot because I don't want to
Yes,
miss
come
anything.
on.
So I'm just going to have you describe the dolls. Just say where they're from and the
Those are
pictures.
more Queen Olga, most of the
Yes.
costumes from queens,
Yes.
past queens of Greece.
and that
They're
beautiful
very old.
jug is another example of this
Yes,
fantastic.
those
artwork.
are, they call them the mousses, like the girls, they play the flute or something, different type of mousses. And
Yeah.
mousses, the ones, the girls, they play an instrument.